Hello everyone, this book is called How the Elephant Got His Trunk. Mrs Henman bought this book, How the Elephant Got His Trunk. Long, long ago in Africa, the elephants that roamed the veldt looked much like they do today. They were the biggest of all the animals, with huge bellies and heavy legs. The elephants had enormous ears and two white tusks. But there was something quite different about the elephants all those many years ago. They did not have a long trunk. Instead, all the elephants had short and rather funny little noses. Feeding was a difficult task for such cumbersome creatures. They would have to bend down on their knees and eat the grass. Drinking was also not very easy. The elephants would have to wade into the water and kneel down to quench their thirst. Munch, munch. One day, the herd of elephants had wandered far in search of water. Eventually, they found a new river, and before long, they were kneeling in the cool water to gulp down as much as they could. What the elephants did not know was that the river was home to an old crocodile. The crocodile was big and strong and always hungry. When the crocodile saw these enormous creatures, he was very happy. One of these big animals would make a lovely meal, he thought as he swam slowly closer, with only his eyes peering out from under the water. The elephants did not notice the greedy crocodile approaching. Too busy were they slurping up the water on their bent knees. As Crocodile got closer, he slowly opened his long jaws wider and wider until snap! He clamped his mouth over a young elephant's nose. The poor young elephant got such a fright that he immediately pulled backwards to free himself. The crocodile himself was also surprised. Usually catching a creature was easy work. And so the struggle began. Back and forth they tugged. Sometimes it looked as though the crocodile might win, but then the elephant tugged with all his might, and he managed to pull the crocodile onto the riverbank. But then the crocodile would pull the other way again. The other elephants looked on anxiously, all cheering loudly when the elephant seemed to be winning. Soon a crowd of other animals gathered at the water. Monkeys, zebras, buck, warthog, flamingos, and many more, all cheering the elephant on because at one time or another they had all lost a friend to the jaws of the nasty crocodile. The sun was setting, and after struggling for many hours, the exhausted elephant made a final big tug, and whoomph, landing on his bottom, he was free. The angry crocodile disappeared back into the depths of the water. The animals on the riverbank cheered and rejoiced, so happy that the young elephant was safe and that someone had finally beaten the ugly old crocodile. Eventually, when all the other animals had left, the tired young elephant noticed that the older elephants were whispering to each other worriedly. His younger friends, on the other hand, were sniggering and laughing. His sore and throbbing nose was what they were all talking about. Peering at his reflection in a puddle next to him, the elephant realized why they were making such a fuss. His nose had been stretched so long that it now looked like a snake. While the young elephant was rather upset with the strange new nose, he did realize, however, that he was lucky to be alive. And so he decided there and then to make the best of his long and winding snout. And that's exactly what he did. Soon it was the other elephants that were feeling sorry for themselves. With Elephant's new trunk, he was able to reach the highest branches for juicy leaves. And no longer did he kneel to drink. He could simply slurp up the water with his fantastic new nose. It wasn't long before the other elephants made their way back to the riverbank to have a tug of war with the old crocodile. One by one, they came back with their stretched noses, and each elephant discovered how wonderful it was to have a long trunk instead of a short and stumpy nose. From that time onwards, all elephants were born with a long, winding, and very useful trunk. Crocodiles still try to catch elephants every now and then, but luckily it's usually the elephants that win. The end. Bye everyone.